Alrighty guys, welcome to another YouTube video. I'm so excited to finally release part 2 of how to speedrun 100k month stores extremely fast and efficient using AI. This video is going to be by far the most value-packed video I've ever created. I spent the past week literally preparing all of this so that you guys don't leave with any sort of questions unanswered. So hopefully this video does answer absolutely all the questions. But yeah, you guys have been literally waiting for this part 2, as you can see here. And the first video you guys absolutely loved, and I'm so grateful that I was able to provide a lot of value content there. That being said, for the people who are new here, if you guys haven't seen part 1, make sure you guys go watch the previous video, because we go through literally like a quick recap. We went through how to find the product, your winning product, how to analyze the competitor of that product, how to source the product, the checklist on like if this product is validated and if it's something that we should run. We literally created the website in 5 minutes using Atlas AI, very fast and efficient. I taught you guys how to create your offer and set that up with Kaching bundles. So we literally went through so much in here. Oh, most importantly, you guys did the market research prompt that I gave you there, because you need the market research prompt to be able to get into this next section part where we're going to be creating the ads. And as always, for the people who are new here, who am I? My name is Perry Xie. I'm 21 years old. I have a 7-figure fashion brand called Impractical. I'm building that to 8 figures. This channel here is dedicated to dropshipping only. So I'm literally teaching everything that I know about dropshipping and whatever I'm currently learning and updating you guys with the current trends or whatever is like the meta strat. With this exact blueprint series, I was able to do $197,000 in roughly 50 days of my newest store, and then also $143,000 in 30 days on my other store. But anyways, without further ado, let's get right into this video. Okay, so you have the final market research completed for your product. So we're gonna get right into creating ads. But before we do that, let me explain the type of ad we're running and what it is. So many of you guys probably already know what native long form ads are, but for those of you guys who don't know, basically a native ad is a post that seems native, like a natural person would post. It's supposed to be an ad disguised as a normal post that a Facebook mom would, post out there. So here are some examples for the product that we're running from the main competitor grounding well, which we selected in our last video. Basically, we're doing a grounding bed sheet, and you can see here the native ads here are very straightforward. I mean, this is the one that we're literally going to feed to our Claude, which I already did, but we'll walk through it in a second. So you can see the picture itself is very native. It's literally just a picture of someone's sheet completely rolled up. And what's kind of interesting about this is that it can't just be any natural post. The whole point is it's supposed to be very eye engaging, right? We're trying to hook them in visually. So the first step of a native ad is having the image be native. First of all, it can't be looking like an ad, and then second of all, it needs to be very intriguing. So from here, we kind of look at this picture. If I was scrolling on Facebook, let's say, and I saw this, I'm like, wow, it kind of looks like a bunch of dirty sheets rolled up. Like, you're kind of confused, like, why are there so many sheets, first of all? So you're like, you're kind of curious about the image, and then after you hook them with the image curiosity, they're probably going to read either the headline. So we call this the headline here, where it says the weird sheet in our 5-star ... So they'll probably read this, and then they'll read the above the fold hook. So breaking this down, a native ad is going to be the native image, and then it's going to be the headline, and then it's going to be the hook here, which leads into the entire long form copy, which I'll show you guys in a second. And then the way that we'd find all of our competitors' native ads is exactly the same step as in part 1, where we even found the product in the first place. So you're going to head over to your Trend Check account. Make sure again that you're connected to Claude. If you guys don't know how to do that, again, in part 1, you can watch that. So our competitor is grounding well. So you'll head over to the ads section, and then make sure you guys have the My Native Ads filter set up. And once you have that set up and selected, you're going to go ahead and search up your competitor. So in our case, grounding well. From there, you're literally going to see all of the competitors' native ads from best performing to least performing. And one more way for me to confirm again if the native ad is something that's doing well for them is, one, how many days is it running? You can see here it's been running for 184 days, so the longer the better. Also on Trend Check, it shows you their ranking by percentage here. So in this case, this ad here is the top 2%. So it's probably the first best ad or the second ad out of the 54 ads being run on this Facebook page, which you can literally see right here, 54 ads under Charlotte Miller. So we know for a fact that this ad here is doing well for them. And of course, these are all long form native. What I was saying about after they read the hook, it leads into the long form copy. So you can see here it's very long. So once you found your competitor's winning native ad, we will be clicking on the 3 dots here to copy the full copy here. Instead of having to highlight it, you can literally click here and press copy ad copy. This will be for when we start the prompt one for the native ad creation. Now, one thing that is extremely crucial to you guys is actually learning the fundamentals of direct response and what makes a native ad copy perform well, essentially, right? So I'm not going to go into complete detail because this stuff can be found online, but from here, you guys are literally able to search up like the keywords. So, anatomy of ad copy or the awareness ladder or market sophistication. But I will briefly go over it in this video because, again, I cannot stress how important this is instead of just copying and pasting all my prompts and not really understanding what makes copy good copy, right? So I'm going to get right into it. What is the anatomy of a native ad? So a native ad is the ad that we're creating with the long copy here. And basically it's broken down in different sections. So we have the hook, we have the lead, product discovery, mechanism of the problem, mechanism of the solution, the result, and then a soft close. Now, I personally rank the importance of your hook being number one because this is the first thing that they see, and it kind of applies to literally any sort of ad, whether it's video or long form native ads. The hook is very important. So the hook needs to call out exactly the avatar. So whatever they're experiencing, the problem, it needs to be called out in the first 1 to 3 sentences. Next, the lead is basically the narrator explaining how the problems are essentially getting worse and worse and worse as the days go, as the weeks go by, as the months go by, and how she eventually reaches a breaking point. So this is where, like, let's say for our product, a big solution, or I guess a big problem, is how when the avatar goes to sleep, they find themselves waking up in the middle of the night and they never feel well rested. So in this lead, the story would basically be talking about how just exaggerating over and over and more about how her life is basically coming to shambles because of the sleep problem that she's having, and she has no clue why that's the case. Next is going to be the product discovery. So somehow, I'm just giving you guys an example. Maybe her friend or family member mentioned the same problem that they're experiencing, and they found a product that actually helped them. And then that moves into the mechanism of the problem. So the mechanism of the problem is basically the missing piece of information that explains why everything else that they've tried failed. And then that ties pretty much directly with mechanism of solution, which is going to be exactly why your product, the unique mechanism of your product, helps them with their problem. So this is called the mechanism of the solution. So it's going to basically be like, okay, so they find out that the problem is not because, of stress, but is actually, they find out that it's because their electrons or something is not being connected to the earth, because that's what grounding is, and that's what our product is for, right? So they find out what the unique mechanism of the problem is, and then boom, our product has that unique mechanism solution that literally helps them resolve their problem, whereas all the other products, they didn't help. And then we go into results. This is basically the avatar is talking about how this product has actually helped them. Maybe they gives like a time frame, like day 1, day 2, or week 1, week 2, week 3. This is how much better their problem was being solved until eventually their problem completely went away. And then finally, soft close is going to be like a call to action, be like, okay, so here's the link to the store that I bought this product from. They're running a XYZ sale. It doesn't have to be a hard CTA, call to action, but this is kind of like when we analyze our competitors, and we can later test as well how hard we want to go with the call to action. If we want to make it very like, go buy this now before it's too late, or maybe you guys should go get this because they're probably going to sell out, something like that, very soft. Next, the awareness ladder. And by the way, all of this is going to be found through the prompt of creating the native ad, also through the market research. It would have already told you as well. So I hope you guys, instead of just using my prompts for the market research, you guys actually read through what Claude was giving you back. But basically, the awareness ladder is you go from unaware, which is you literally have no clue that you're even experiencing a problem. Problem aware is you are aware of your problem, but you don't even know that there's solutions out there to help you with your problem. And then solution aware is you are you have the problem, and you are aware that there's different types of products that can help you with your problem, but you don't know which one is the best one, which would be, in our case, we'd probably be targeting problem aware or solution aware. So in this case, maybe it's like melatonin or like a better mattress or some sort of sleeping routine. But yeah, so there's a whole bunch of different solutions out there, but they don't know which one's the best one for them. Product aware would be that they're aware of grounding sheets, but they don't know which brand that sells grounding sheets is the best. And then most aware is like they're just aware of everything, and the only reason that they would want to buy is because like, oh, this place is running a flash sale or something like that. So this affects how we market, because for example, most aware would be people who literally know of our brand, know of our product so well that they were literally just waiting for a sale to happen for them to buy. Market sophistication is very straightforward as well. First to market is literally when someone's like invented or brought a new product to the market. So in this case, they don't really have any competition. They simply just present their new product and people flood to it. But that's a lot harder, right? We're not going to be out here inventing our own product, our dropshipping product. In most cases, we're going to find something that already exists there, and we're going to market it differently or establish more trust and be like, hey, you guys should trust us because XYZ. Number two would be competition arrives. That's the same thing. It just means like the market's a little bit more saturated. Some more competitors are coming in. So the only way you can differentiate yourself is through making better claims or bolder claims. Number three is that there's already a lot of different people who are selling that product that are making the same claim. So the viewer is like hearing the exact same thing. So in their head, they're like, okay, we don't really like, you guys are all making the same claims. So what makes you really different? This is where it's very important. And honestly, most markets, most of you guys will probably be running in this level 3 market sophistication. So this is where we would explain extremely well what is the unique mechanism problem that they're experiencing and how our unique mechanism solution is the solution to their problem and why everything else they've tried did not work for them. Number 4, mechanisms are exhausted. So it's basically number 3, but just elevated even more. And then number 5 is total disbelief. So that's like a market where basically all the claims are made. No one believes anything. They're really only just deciding to kind of go with you because of the identity that your brand kind of goes with. So for example, like you have iPhones, Apple, and you have Samsung, right? All of them have relatively the same features, right? What's the difference of why you would go with Apple rather than Samsung? Well, for me personally, it's like I think Apple is kind of more cool. It's just like more modern and everyone else seems to have it. It's more of an identity thing, right? That's basically what number 5 means. Okay, so with that out of the way, again, I encourage you guys to really deep dive and learn this stuff for yourself, but I couldn't skip over this because it's just so important, man. Okay, so step 3, the part that you guys are all kind of waiting for. So we found our competitor, we found their winning ad copy, and this is exactly where you would go to the 3 dots and we'll copy the ad copy. Okay, so once you've done that with trend track, you're gonna go to step number 4, which is gonna be using our master prompt for creating the native ad. Guys, I spent like almost an entire day creating this prompt and then refining it so that it gives you the best output. Like just look how much stuff I'm giving to you guys here. I also include my example of the ad that I'm gonna be running and you guys will see. You guys can have a look. Everything is on here. But yeah, we're gonna start right away with prompt 1. So I want you guys to go ahead, open your Claude. Okay, so once you guys have Claude open, it's very simple, just like my last video. You're gonna go ahead and copy prompt 1. So prompt 1, you go here, it's just in the box, you're gonna copy it, you're gonna go to Claude, you're gonna paste it. Now, everything here, you guys can see I've highlighted in green is what you're supposed to input manually. So in this case, you gotta import your category. So in our category, it's gonna be health and wellness. It's kind of like the market or the niche. And then also you're gonna paste the full ad copy that we copied over here in trend track. So again, copy ad copy, and then you're gonna go in here and unselect this and simply paste it, right? So then you're gonna press prompt, or you're gonna send the message and it's gonna prompt. Now, for the sake of this video, I literally went ahead and did it all myself from prompt 1 to prompt 8. So it's very straightforward. You're literally gonna go through prompt 1, then prompt 2, and again, fill in all the highlighted green stuff. Prompt 3 will give you your 5 desires, and so from there it's going to also give you a recommendation of which one you should test first, which one you should test second, which one you should test third. So it gives you a ranking of 1 to 5 which ones Claude thinks is the best that you should be testing when you're launching your ads. In my strategy, I launch 3 desires at the beginning. We'll get into that, but so basically it's going to give you 5. You're going to find your top 3, and then you're gonna do 1 desire at a time. So for prompt 4, you're gonna simply enter, let's say Claude tells me to do desire 1 to start off. So I would put in number 1 in here. So you'll copy this whole thing and then you'll paste it into Claude. And once you've placed it in Claude, again, you'll just replace whatever's in brackets with 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. So that's done. And then you go into prompt 5, which is gonna be the same thing, but it's gonna give you, prompt 4 will give you different angles. And again, it's going to give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 angles. And then you're going to input the whichever angle that you're going to be writing the copy for. Let's just say desire 1 and angle 1. So I'm going to copy this entire prompt 5, paste it into Claude, and then replace this bracket with whichever angle that you want to be testing and whichever Claude basically said you to test in chronological order. So we're going to place it in here. And this whole thing is very long, prompt 5, because it's actually writing the entire long form copy that you'll be running on your ads. So once you're done that, you're literally going to just repeat the same thing for desire, your second desire and your third desire that you're going to be testing, and also the second angle and third angle that you'll be testing. So you're literally going to run prompt 4 and prompt 5 again until you have literally 3 pieces of long form copy with targeting 1 desire and 1 angle for each 3. So that's 3 desires, 3 angles. And for each one of those, you're going to run prompt 6. Prompt 6 is basically going to just double check all of your copy and make sure that there's no mistakes. And if there's any improvements, it'll suggest it there and make the actual adjustment and rewrite the copy. On this doc, I included the copy that it created for my own product, the Terra store that we're running. And you guys can see here, this is the copy that it came up from running prompt 1 to 6 right here, first example, and then it's right here, the entire copy right in this doc. So you guys can also reference that. And then once you're done doing that for the 3 desires, 3 angles, and by the way, to make sure that this is all clean, I would suggest that you open a Google Doc and then create separate tabs for each copy. So desire 1, desire 2, desire 3, and then copy and paste your whole copy that prompt 6 has given you into each one. Now, for each one of those 3 desires, you're going to run prompt 7. So for all 3 desires that prompt 6 has given you and finalized, you are literally going to run prompt 7 for each one separately. And this is going to give you variations of your hooks. So we do this so we can test 5 different hooks with the remaining of the body for the long form copy, 4 hooks, extra hooks for each copy. So that's 12 hooks in total, because again, 4 hooks for desire 1, 4 hooks for desire 2, 4 hooks for desire 3. Why 4 and not 5? Because one of them is already created from your prompt 6. We're essentially going to be swapping out only this section with the 4 hooks that we created. Okay, and finally, you're going to run prompt 8, which is going to give you 5 headlines that you will be attaching to each ad. Basically, what is the headline? The headline is this part right here. Get grounded while you sleep, the weird sheet at my 2000 ... I'm not a bad mother. So you're gonna need 5 variations of that. How do you know what to write for this? What I like to do, and by the way, I also included this in the prompt 8. It's very detailed and it actually has some very good examples. For example, right here, read this if, and then your exact problem. So in my case, I gave it, it would probably give me something like, read this if you keep waking up in the middle of the night, or read this if you're never feeling energized. Read this if you never feel well rested, right? I gave the prompt a lot of good examples, so it should give you something really good. But if in case not, go here, manually read it, and just literally fill in the exact problem that your avatar is facing and what your product solves. And that's it, guys. You ran all 8 prompts. You have the 3 ad scripts, which are for targeting 3 different desires with 3 different angles, and you have all the 4 different hooks, I guess 5 hooks in total, and then you have 5 headlines as well. So all the actual ad copy is completed. Now we're gonna move into the final step, which is how to launch the ads. So I'm gonna try to explain this as simple as possible because a lot of you guys like to overcomplicate your meta ad structure. Here's my exact strategy. So I launch one CBO. What's a CBO? It's a campaign budget optimization campaign. I'll show you literally on meta ads when we create it, but you're gonna run one CBO, and then you're gonna have 3 ad sets, and then in each ad set, remember, each ad set's testing 1 desire. So desire 1, desire 2, desire 3, they're all gonna have 3 ads within. My daily budget is gonna be $100. I personally like to do $150 to $200 a day, but because a lot of you guys are beginners and I know it's kind of scary putting out $150 or $200 a day, minimum I recommend is again $100 per day. And then you're gonna have 3 ads for each ad set. So you're gonna have 9 ads in total when you're doing your testing phase. I'm not gonna go through how to create a Facebook page and attach it to your meta ads. All of that stuff is online. But I'm gonna teach you how to set up the exact structure I just went over. And you're gonna go to the create button in the top left. And then you're gonna click on sales, continue. The first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna name this, let's say USA CBO, and then delete this. And then you're gonna not touch anything here. You're not gonna touch this. You're gonna go here and set your budget to $100. By the way, this ad account is in Canadian, but most of you guys are probably from the US. I would always do 100 US. So in my case, I would put 140 Canadian, which is equivalent to 100 US. So whatever currency you're doing, make sure at least it's 100 USD. So pretend like this is a USD account. So we'll put 100 in daily budget. Do not change this, leave it as campaign budget, because like I was saying, this is a CBO, not an ABO. The way you change it to ABO is you would select this, but we're not doing this in this video. So again, put $100 there, click next. Now it brings us to the ad set level. On the ad set level, we're gonna just name this ad set and then desire, whichever desire. So desire 1, and then so you would change it for ad set 2 is desire 2, ad set 3 is desire 3. Website for conversion location. For a performance goal, it's going to be maximum number of conversions. Your pixel is something you created already, so make sure it's selected. It's blurred out for obvious reasons here. Conversion event is purchase. Cost per result goal is set to none. Don't change anything, don't touch this, don't touch this, don't touch any of this. Now, let's say today is August 21st. You always want to launch at midnight, so I would select the next day and put this to 12, 0, and then AM. So always set it to that. Now, this is very important. Make sure your locations is set to United States because that's where we'll be because that's where we're going to be testing. So United States, and then deselect Canada. If you guys are from Canada, it'll naturally show there. And that's it. You don't touch anything else in ad set. Now, this is actually where you create the ad, guys. So you're going to name it ad 1. There is professional naming conventions that you can do, but as a beginner, and because it's a speed running, I never do it right off bat. So just write ad 1. And then for Facebook page, you would have had to connect your Facebook page that you created, whether that be your avatar. So I'm blurring out our example here because I don't want to leak my product. But yeah, you would create the Facebook page and attach it. It'll show up right here. And then you also create the Instagram profile. So connect those two. And then from here, manual upload. This is exactly where you're going to be uploading your native image ad. Now, I kind of didn't really go over it. It's because it's very simple. You literally you go to Trend Track, and let's say if I want to use this picture, never ever use the exact picture, guys. And this is the same thing. Don't copy anything one for one. So you're not copying the native image one for one. You're not copying the actual long form copy one to one. Everything you have to create from scratch. Why? Because Meta will literally see them as duplicates and will literally not give you any performance because they were the ones who launched this first. So why should you, who put no effort, get the results, right? On Trend Track, you simply will click the top 3 dots and you'll go and download the media. When you download the media, you'll simply go onto Higgsfield and you'll ask Higgsfield to change up the image. So whether you're using the Higgsfield from the luxury tools or Higgsfield, your own Higgsfield account, you take the image, you paste it in there, ask your Claude to literally give it some sort of prompt to change it up somewhat, and then it'll give you a very similar but different image. So once you have that, that's the image that you'll take into your Meta ad account, and you're going to go here and set up creative. From here, you're going to press upload, and then you're going to paste your image. Next, you're going to head over to text, and this is where we input our actual native long form copy into this ad. I will literally copy this whole native ad, right? So you're going to copy your native ad from top to bottom, and you're going to paste it here. Now, one thing is when you paste it into here, you're going to notice all the lines are going to be stacked together, and there should ideally be spaces in between each one. Why does it do that? Well, Google Docs, you can see here it's nicely spaced. So what you guys are going to do is go to this website called textfixer.com, and you're simply going to click on, I believe it's called line breaks, and then you're going to add line breaks. This is a function that is very easy to use. You literally take your copy, right? We have all this, we paste it here, and then we press add line breaks. What does it do? It literally adds everything here. You're going to copy it, and then you're going to go back to meta ads. You're going to select all and paste it. Boom. All the lines have been added. Now this is exactly how we want it. Next, we are going to go and grab all of our different hooks. Make sure to not select this as well, because the reason why it has an arrow into I'm 52 is because I told Claude to make it clear to you guys that this hook leads into I'm 52. So you want to copy each hook like this one by one, and you're going to go down here and press add text option. It'll bring up a new box. You're going to paste it in. And again, there's not going to be line break, but because it's the hooks and there's only 4 lines, we literally just come in and manually add the line break, right? So there, that's hook number 2. And we're going to do that for all 4 other hooks. Also, guys, one thing I want to say is like just looking at this hook, I don't think that this is very strong. Why? Because the first sentence literally says 10:30 I'm gone, 3:20 I'm back. I think that this is very confusing to the reader, and it's just not a good hook when it only shows this above the fold. So in this case, I'm just gonna keep this as one line, because then at least it goes 10:30 I'm gone, 3:20 I'm back, wide awake, exhausted, not remotely sleepy, and no chance of dropping off again. Because the hook needs to call out the exact problem that the viewer is experiencing. If it was just 1030 I'm gone and 320 I'm back above the fold, it's not going to catch anyone's attention to click the see more button to actually see the rest of the ad copy and read through. So in this case, when you're doing this, I would always double check, right? All the other ones are fine, right? Because it actually includes the problem right on the above fold part. I just wanted to point that out as I was putting these hooks in, and then boom, all 5 are entered. Now it literally doesn't let you create anymore because you can only do 5 primary texts at a time. Then we're gonna go back to the line break text, and we're gonna go from I'm 52. Remember, this is literally where it says it's leading into all these different hooks. So you're only gonna copy I'm 52, go all the way down, copy, and then you're literally just going to paste it after the end of each hook. So next we're going to add the 5 headlines that Claude created. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to go to meta ads. I'm going to paste it. Oh, also a little quick trick is that a lot of the times people, really good native ads, they have a dot and then an emoji. I'll show you. So I like to add this emoji here, which is the index pointing up, because I just seen a lot of really big competitors or big people in the e-com space do this. Boom, we have all 5 headlines done. We have all 5 primary text done. The last part is going to be this section here, which I know my camera is covering, but it's going to be call to action. This is going to be the button right here that says shop now or learn more. I always set it to learn more. So in this case, it's default set to see details, and we're going to switch it to learn more. Let's just add an image for the sake of it. I'm going to copy this exact media just for this video's sake. We have our primary text done. We have our headlines done. We have our call to action done. Now next, do not turn on any of this. So just make sure everything is off. You can just press next. Press next. Make sure all these enhancements are off. Meta likes to sneak it in like boom, like that. Add music. We don't want music on this. So let's just turn it off. And then done. And there you go. We completed one of the ads within a desire ad set. So in this case, we have ad 1, image 1 completed. So we added the 5 primary text and the 5 headlines. We have everything set up. Now the easiest way to duplicate the 2 other ones is you're going to go on the ads and click this top, the 3 little dots. You're going to click quick duplicate. And then from here, you're going to get an exact identical. Now the only difference between ad 1 and you're going to rename this to double click this and click make this ad 2. You're going to do the same thing, quick duplicate, and then we're going to name this ad 3. And then the only thing you need to change between these 3 ads is going to be the image. So you're going to press on the plus mark and you're going to input the other image that you're going to be testing. And once that's done, you're literally going to have 3 different ads with 3 different images, all the same primary text and headlines. And that is it for the ad set. And then guys, literally just click duplicate, and then you're going to switch the name right here to desire 2. So in this ad set 2 that you just duplicated, you're going to select 2 of the ads, doesn't matter which one, and you're going to delete it. Why? Because you need to redo all the primary text headlines of you and your second body. So desire 2 has a complete different long form copy with 5 hooks and 5 headlines. So you're literally going to go in here and do exactly what we did for desire 1, but you're going to do that for desire 2, and then you're going to duplicate that one ad when it's complete and you've already filled out. The headline you actually don't really need to change. I usually keep it the same because it's very broad, right? So our headlines is like, read this if you keep waking up at 3 a.m. Whether it's desire 1, desire 2, desire 3, unless the desire is literally not about sleep and it's about something else, then I would create 5 new headlines. But if it's all about the same problem, then keep the same headlines. But for the primary text, you still need to do 5 different hooks. So again, just like the headlines, how we can keep it if like the overarching desire or problem that the customer avatar is experiencing is the same across different ad sets, we can keep the same headlines. Same thing with the images. Just like, think of it like this. The image literally just has to make sense with what the story is that you're writing, right? So in this case, we're going to keep the same image, but you can always test the different images if you want. So once you've put in the new copy, the new hooks, everything done, same thing guys, quick duplicate twice, you get 3 ads and then switch out the images. And then again, rinse and repeat, do that for desire 3. Then you'll literally see that you have 9 ads in total. You'll have 3 ad sets within that one campaign. Okay, we are finally on the last step, which is going to be evaluating performance and doubling down on winners. I'm going to create another comprehensive video strictly on this just because for time's sake, and this is something that needs a lot more time, and this video is already pretty long, so I'll create a separate video on this. But to give you guys a rundown, basically you guys would have already calculated your break-even ROAS, right? So on day 1, it's not expected for you to get a purchase, but of course it's a good sign if you do. So day 1, if you don't get a purchase, that's fine. Day 2, we really do want to look to get a purchase, at least one, even if it's under break-even ROAS. Day 3, we want to have purchases above the break-even ROAS. So Again, if you have purchase on day 1, that's great. If you have purchase on day 2, that's even better. And day 3, if you also have purchase, that's the best. If you don't have purchase on day 1, that's fine. On day 2, we at least want to have some purchases, even if it's underneath our break even. And then day 3, we also want to be obviously above our break even. So if you guys launch it and you guys get purchases and have a good ROAS, as you can see here, this was day 3 of testing my newest store. I had a 3.39 ROAS on $400 spend. This is where you scale up your budget. Where do you scale? You go on your campaign and you literally go click on the budget, and you're gonna click the edit check mark, and you're gonna set the budget to 20% more than what it's currently set. So let's say it's set at $100. You're gonna scale it to $120 at midnight. So you're gonna let the whole day run, and then at midnight, you're gonna change it to $120. So whenever performance is above break-even ROAS, we're gonna scale up 20%. If it is above, like by, you have a 2x, 3x, 4x ROAS, that's when you can do 20% at midnight. And then when you wake up at noon, if performance is still good, your ROAS is, let's say above 2 or double your break-even ROAS, that's when you would scale up another 20%. So you're gonna be scaling up 40% in a 24-hour window. Now, if performance starts to dip down, we give it 24 hours and then we scale down 20%. That's essentially how we manage our budget when going through the testing phase. I would love to get into like the full thing, but I would have to cover how to set up all the columns, how to read every single metric. There's already videos out there. So for the sake of the video, I want you guys to go watch those to start. And then later in this YouTube channel, hopefully maybe the next video, I'll be going over how to actually analyze your meta ads, all the metrics, and then make decisions from there. But what I said just now is basically a general summary of how I essentially evaluate my testing phase and when to know to scale down and when to know to scale up. Now, if you are basically unprofitable and underneath your break-even ROAS after day 3, day 4, day 5, and you've tested the Desire 4, the Desire 5, and it still didn't get any purchases, by the way, make sure that everything gets spent. If it didn't get any spend, then you haven't tested it yet. And that's it for part 2. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it very valuable. And again, if you haven't watched part 1, make sure you watch that prior to starting part 2 and the stuff that I taught you in here. And if you want 20% off for Trend Track for the next 3 months, you guys can use the link in my description. And to thank you guys for hitting 1K subscribers, which we're actually now at 2K subscribers, I said that I created a free Discord, and this is basically where I'll be chatting with you guys one-on-one. I'm gonna also be doing some free weekly calls whenever I have time, so make sure you guys join that. It's gonna be in the link in the description. A lot of you guys also commented, how do you guys fulfill the orders that you get? I will be linking my private supplier in the link in the description. I really wish I could have made a whole video on like the back-end supplying stuff, which I will. I promise you I'll make it in my next video. But just for the people who want to know now and need a solution, I'm gonna link it in the description so you can go ahead and do that. Basically, it's with GoShip Pro. They are the people that I use literally for the past 4 years, so you guys can go use them through the link in the description. And yeah, I hope you guys like this video. Make sure to comment. I check all the comments and respond to every single one of them. And make sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.